Welcome back. This is Social Media Marketing Simplified with Auret here. And in this video, I wanted to talk to you all about Twitter. Now, Twitter is one of those social media accounts that people are like, what is this? And it's because you only have 140 characters to say what you want to say. And a lot of people get hung up over what the heck do I tweet about? You know, I definitely went through that in the beginning. And even though I'm not right now, I'm not a big Twitter person, I know that there is a ton of value that you can get and that other people have gotten just from being on Twitter. And this is because of the immediate nature of Twitter. You know, communication it's instant and it's short. So there are two major benefits of Twitter that I wanted to talk about. The first one is that it can really help you gain new fans through Twitter, just because you have potential to reach more people in a shorter amount of time. Unlike Facebook, with Twitter, when you tweet something, it'll instantly show up in all of your followers' feeds. And if one of your followers retweets your post, it'll show up instantly in all of their feeds. Facebook is a bit different. When you post something on Facebook, it won't necessarily go out to all of your friends because Facebook uses certain filters on your posts that determine whether or not it'll show up for this friend or that friend. So it's not always going to be visible to all of your friends, whereas Twitter is different. So that's the added benefit for Twitter here, is that you can really start to see your exposure being almost exponential and increasing, because if other people are retweeting your content, you have really exponential visibility on Twitter. So that's one of the benefits for Twitter there. The second thing that I wanted to mention is that you can really establish some great connections on Twitter that can either gain you some more massive exposure or just even open up doors for you in your career. I find it easy to communicate on Twitter just because it's almost like instant messaging. When you're sending a message out to a person, you're not only establishing a connection with them, but you're also remaining visible to all of their fans and followers, because their followers will see your conversation tweeting back and forth at each other. So that creates some curiosity to say, oh, who is this person that we keep seeing? So that's a really great benefit to Twitter. And sometimes, you can even establish a connection with some really influential people in your industry if you're lucky. If you're tweeting at someone and they retweet it to their thousands or even millions of followers, that's great exposure for you. And it does happen, and it has happened as well. So those are the two major benefits of Twitter that you can really take advantage of if this is the right platform for you. I want to take you over to my Twitter profile and talk more about how you can optimize your account. First of all, how you can set up your account and how you can optimize it to really take advantage of what Twitter has to offer. So let's go ahead over to the browser. All right, so this right here is my Twitter profile. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about, just a few elements to really create an engaging Twitter profile, is just like Facebook. You want to have an engaging cover photo so that when people come to your profile, they see who you are right away. And you can even use the same design as your Facebook page cover. That's what I've done here. Just make sure it's designed with the right dimensions for Twitter so that it doesn't look distorted. I spent more time explaining the importance of a great cover photo in the last video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but just refer back to that resource document to see the size dimensions for creating this Twitter cover photo. And you can also refer back to that document to see where to get it designed if you're not going to be designing it yourself. Other important areas to customize is your profile photo here and your about section. So for your profile photo, make sure it shows you and it's a picture of you. You know, you can save the logos and the branding and everything for your cover photo, but your profile photo should really be about you so that people can see who you are. The About section here is similar to the Facebook About section that we were going over, where you really want to tell people what it is you do and who you are in just a few words. So create something straight to the point and something attention grabbing as well. See over here with the About section, you can see right away who I am. So it says I'm a singer, entrepreneur, stream driven. Right away you know that I love music, I'm in business, and I also have a link here to my business profile as well. I'll show you where to customize all of this. So once you've created your Twitter profile, you just click on this little button over here, the small thumbnail of your picture, and go over to settings. And over here where it says profile, click on that and it will show you where to customize your photo, your cover page, your Twitter cover photo. And just scrolling down here, the bio section over here is where you're going to include your short description of who you are. And there's even a spot there for a website. You can make sure you put that website. Once that's all customized, just make sure you save the changes here by clicking on that button so that it will all show up for you there on your profile. When it comes to posting on Twitter, the 5 categories of content will still apply. But because you only have 140 characters to work with, there are a couple things you can do. If Twitter isn't a channel that you'll be focusing on growing right now, you can connect your Twitter to your Facebook page so that everything you post on your Facebook page will be tweeted automatically. Now, there is a downside to this, which I'll explain in a second here, but if Twitter is not your main focus, you can at least still stay active on Twitter without dedicating the extra time, and you'll also still be gaining new followers as well while you're at it. So let me show you how to connect your Facebook page to your Twitter page. All you gotta do is you have to go to facebook.com/Twitter. And once you go to that URL, it'll show you something different. It shows me this right now because I'm logged in, but you'll first see something like this, where there's a button to link your profile to your Twitter. So you just have to click on that button there, and then you'll see something like this that is asking you whether you'd like to authorize Facebook to use your account. So you just have to click on Authorize App, and then it'll send you to this section here that you saw earlier, where you can customize what you want Twitter to post from your Facebook page. I have all of them checked because I just like to have everything sent over to my Twitter account. But you can customize it here and then just click Save Changes, and you can always change those settings later. So that's how you connect it. I've had, like I said, because I don't really focus too much on Twitter myself, I like to connect my Facebook page to my Twitter account so that I'm still staying active and I'm still gaining new followers as well. If you are deciding to focus on Twitter, you can still connect your 2 social media platforms, so the Facebook and the Twitter, but in order to really grow your fan base and increase your exposure, most of your posts should be created specifically for Twitter. So this means including hashtags and links back to your page. And this is the downside with having the 2 platforms connected, is that when you have Facebook posting directly to Twitter, it'll often omit the important links from that post because it'll show you something like this. Here, I'll just go back to my profile. It'll have the first few words of the Facebook post, and then it'll have a link back to the Facebook post. So let me show you here. Oh, it's just a little slow. But I'm going to go back to my profile and scroll down here. So I'll show you an example. Actually, most of these here are posts that have been directly posted to my fan page, and then they just show up here on Twitter. So for example, like this message here, there is, you see the first few words, and then there's a link back to the Facebook post. So that is the downside, because if you have an important link at the end of that post, you might not necessarily see it. If it's a link back to your website or maybe to one of your other social media profiles, people won't see that on Twitter. And so I wanted to go over 4 things that will really help you master your success with Twitter. And I'm just going to go back to the presentation here. And this is where the hashtags and the links and all of that kind of stuff come in. So the first thing that you can do is to be more frequent on Twitter. You should be tweeting more often and at different times throughout the day so you can increase your visibility in other people's feeds. If that's the case, then you can use Page Modo to schedule more tweets, or you can just tweet manually throughout the day. But I find that if you're a busy person, you have lots of other things to do, you can always put the time into scheduling those tweets ahead of time using Page Modo so that it'll just continue to post for you throughout the day. The second thing you can do is spend more time coming up with quality tweets that will entice your followers to retweet them or even to reply. So think about what would make you retweet something to your followers, and think about what you have retweeted in the past if you're using Twitter right now, and use that knowledge for your own tweets. This will really allow you to expand your exposure and in creating shareable content. For me, I find that the inspirational stuff works. A lot of inspirational quotes really work well because that identifies with other people, and they want it. It's something easy that they can retweet to their followers. But you can play around. Everybody's following will be different in terms of what they like. So play around with the different pieces of content using what we've talked about with the 5 categories and see what works. Another thing you can do is to engage more with your followers. Now, I'll talk more about engagement in a future video, but here's a quick tip that's specific to Twitter. So every time you get a new Twitter follower, I recommend going to their profile, follow them back, and tweet back at them saying, "Hey, thanks for the follow," and maybe an additional sentence about how's your day going so far, or if you see what they're about on their profile, you can say something about that, like, "Oh, I noticed you're a singer too. What kind of music do you make?" or something like that. It's such a simple act, but it really creates conversation with your followers, and when you're tweeting at each other, you will also be visible to their followers as well, like I've mentioned earlier. The 4th thing you can do is to use hashtags. Now, hashtags are used to mark certain keywords or topics in a tweet. When you include a hashtag in your tweet, you're essentially categorizing it under that keyword and making it searchable. So if your tweet has to do with fashion or photography or music, for example, add in that hashtag. So hashtag music or hashtag photography, whatever relevant keyword you're using to your tweet. Add that in so you can make it easier for other people with similar interests to find you and to follow you. So those are just 4 really quick things that'll help you take your Twitter following to another level. And I want to put this on you now. Here's your action step for this video. I'd like you to go ahead and create a Twitter account if you don't already have one, and connect your Twitter page to your Facebook page so that you can at least get some activity rolling around there. And also set things up so that you have your cover photo, your profile photo, and the About section filled out on your page. And if you have any questions at all about this, feel free to message in the discussion group so we can help you out. All right, well, that's all for this video. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.